Good morning, students. This 4 days we were discussing about the tribal life and their exploitation in the British. Why they were angry with the British. That led into revolt and protest against the British. Here, now trading activities with the tribal people that we are going to see. Money lenders entered the forest and offered a loan. The tribal people were not in need of money as such, because they were following barter system. If they want to exchange something, and they were not so much in trading and selling something and purchasing something. Now when they came out to the public, outsiders, they felt that many things outside they need. To purchase those things which are outside the forest, they needed money. For that, the money lenders offered them money. And they were told to bring the materials from the forest and give to the people or the money lender. And those money lenders used to sell them at a high profit. They become rich. So they were called the middlemen. The tribal people were not knowing the exact value of the material which they bring from the forest, because they are not accustomed to the market situations. They were not knowing the demand of the material which they bring and give to the money lenders or traders outside. That was the situation. So the money lenders purchase the forest product at a cheaper rate. Honey, cocoons, timber, wax, animal skin, meat. Like there are so many materials that were available in the forest were brought inside. Medicinal plant, all these things. Brought outside from the forest and they were given to the traders. And they made profit. But they sold them at high profit. Here the egg is good. Purchased for 3 rupees or 4 rupees. But they sold it 4 times the profit. According to the government law, when a material is changed, the wholesaler dealer gets 10% of the cost, which is sold to the consumer. The retail dealer gets 20%, not 3 times or 4 times the cost of the product. So if a 100 rupees instrument box is purchased by you, the shopkeeper in your village might have bought it for 80 rupees. And the wholesaler in the city might have bought it for 70 rupees. And they sell, then we get it for 100 rupees. Not like this here. Here it is, if the 70 rupee material was there, a shopkeeper he has to sell it for 280 rupees like that. That is not permitted nowadays. At that time, these traders did that. They purchased it for 3 rupees or 4 rupees from the villages and sold them to the persons who are in need of silk cocoons. Cocoons is a system, larva is there inside the cocoon is there, from that silk is produced. Those who are in Hassan, Mysore area might have seen silk cocoons. Sericulture it is there. And silk is produced. So in India we have what Mysore silk, Kanchipuram silk, like that, Banaras silk. You might have heard about it. Different silk units are there. Famous silk. So silk is famous. At that time also silk textiles were. So sericulture has not become a business activity. In the forest area, it was there, cocoons were there. Those cocoons were taken by the forest people and given to the outsiders. For that only this was there. So the traders, the villagers exploited the tribal people in a wrong way. Because they were illiterate and ignorant about the materials that was happening around the world. So this was the situation there. So what happened? They were unhappy. That when they came to know about the wrong activities of East India Company and the outsiders, they began to protest. In different parts of India, there were different protests against the East India Company and the outsiders by the tribal people. One is at the year 1831 at Calls. Most of these things are taking place in Jharkhand or northeast areas. Okay? Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand areas. Sandals in 1855, Bastar rebellion, so all Jharkhand and the Chhattisgarh area. Warli Revolution in 1914, just before the independence. Birsa movement in 1870, just after the first war of Indian independence. So like this, the people were so much unhappy with the British, they came out in protest against the British, but the British could suppress them. Because these people were not well trained. They were using the old traditional warfare methods of bow and arrow. Maximum they may keep a poison in the edge of the bow. And that they never used to do like the cheetah people. Straight fight. So it was easy for the Europeans to defeat them with the guns. So revolts were not ultimately successful. But there was something. But there is a difference between this Birsa movement than any other movement. That we will see. Here is a Birsa movement. This fellow, Birsa, was born in 1870 in Jharkhand area. Present Jharkhand at that time it was Bihar. So this Jharkhand over there. He studied in a missionary school, not a higher education, small little bit education. He was in a missionary school. Missionary school means institution run by the Christians. So Christians naturally made him to feel about Christ and made him to understand about Christ. They wanted that he should become a Christian. But he had not, there is no evidence that he has become a Christian, but he has taken the ideology of these Christians and he wanted the idea of kingdom of heaven in the area where they lived. You know, kingdom of heaven is a very good idea where people live in good happiness, good relationship, no fightings, no frictions, no misunderstandings, helping each other. That is a heaven. You know, the Italian poet has written, Dante has written in his book named Divine Comedy about a heaven he seems in a dream. In that dream what happens? A big vessel porridge is kept. Porridge, you know, and it's boiling. Each one, a spoon is tied to each individual's hand. Nobody can bend the hand. You know, if something is tied, you cannot bend our hand. And it's boiling. You cannot go near to it and take it. And you cannot eat yourself. You have to take it and throw. It will be on your face. Get boiled. You will be angry, unhappy, and nothing will go inside the stomach. So that's the situation here. So that he identifies the hell and heaven there. In heaven what they do, each individual takes that porridge, very hot porridge, in the spoon that is available given to him and takes and give to other person. He can give to other person, that's not difficult. And that person will give you. Because he cannot bend you, you cannot put in your mouth, you can put others' mouth. But in hell what happens? Each individual is selfish, he is not ready to give it to others, he wants himself. So naturally, between his face, he will be angry, crying, shouting, howling, all those things will be going on in hell. In heaven, all of them meet comfortably. There is no shouting, all are happy. So that is that situation where everybody lives a happy life. Such a kind of kingdom heaven, Birsa wanted it among his members of the society. That's a Munda group. So he advised the people, give up drinking. Liquor drinking should be stopped. He persuaded them to stop drinking. Clean your villages. Live a happy life. So when people have stopped drinking and behaved in a good way, the outsiders were very unhappy because they could not exploit them. So they thought that Birsa is going to create something and create a fight against the others. Really, Birsa was trying to civilize his own people or change the mindset of his own people so that they can live a happy life with the things available in the forest. But Britishers were not able to understand that. So they arrested him, tried him, but they could not prove that he is guilty absolutely. Because of his ideas, people were not supporting the outsiders. So they thought he is doing revolution or protesting against them. And that has happened. Because of this struggle life, British were afraid of that. They thought Birsa is against them. And they arrested him, tried him and put him in jail. Then he was released from jail. After some years, he died due to cholera. But Birsa Munda could bring a change in the society where he lived. The people with whom he was living, they began to change themselves. They understood the idea that is propagated by Birsa was something good, a kingdom of heaven that comes to the world, where the people are living a good life. So that is what Birsa Munda has a social reformer. So he told them, don't have much interaction with the outsiders, British East India Company or the landlords or traders, anywhere who is coming inside. So naturally, those who are coming inside cannot sell money, materials, they cannot get at cheaper rate. So these people are able to bargain their materials, and they are not simply give to others. So a happy and good life was going on among them. That was irritating for the others. That has created Birsa Munda's problems for him. But really, he wanted to have a change in the mindset of the people, not to kill others, attack others, nothing of that he has taught. But what to do? Be ready, be alert, be active. That is what is the thing. Things have changed like that. So the British were destroying their traditions. They lived a happy life, interaction, no trading activities, no purchasing and selling, nothing was needed for them. They were happy with the village materials. Now they brought the material from outside, forced the people to purchase. All those things happened. So they were unhappy. And landlords and money lenders took over their land because they are taking loan. When they are not able to repay the loan, naturally money lenders will come with the police or military or with the guns. The tribal people had no choice. So naturally, Birsa Munda and team protested that. Disagreed with their landlords. So that was not a good news for the Britishers or landlords. So they began to speak against him or try to destroy his organization, try to destroy his activities or ideas and thinkings. So that is happening. Missionaries criticized their culture because the missionaries, they say they are so much civilized and educated, they are people of God. But they criticize the ordinary people of the villages because the tribal people might be worshipping a sun or any other god which they place. So missionaries were not happy. Missionaries were spreading only their idea, Christ, and their idea was correct. So they criticized the movements of Birsa. They were unhappy. Then, So in 1895, arrested and convicted him on charge of writing, means protesting against the British and all those things. Munda groups targeted the Kurds and Europeans only. They did not attack anybody. They attacking sometimes the groups of the Kurds and the Europeans who were coming and destroying them inside their area. They were not going out and traveling outside. That is speciality. They were not going. Those who come and disturb them inside their area, actually they took stern action, protested against them, tried to attack them. They blocked their way. So Britishers were not happy with it because they wanted to do whatever they like inside the forest areas. They raised the white flag as symbol of Bursa Raj. So white is a symbol of happiness, peace. Anywhere in the fighting is going on now, India and China friction is going on. So usually when the friction wanted to stop, they show white flag. White flag is a symbol of peace, and that is what the things they have made us peace. They are not ready to fight with others. They want to be happy, simple life they want to live. That's what they do. You can see this is Birsa Munda, his speeches, his activities, talking to people, they are listening to him. This is Birsa Munda's. And this is a photo I got from internet. I am not sure whether it is there. It is said to be his village. And the people who are Birsa Munda supporters, they were moving like this. Tribal people, not conversant with some other tribal people who are moving like this in the village areas, they go like this. You can see the tribal people, their dress styles. These are the different kinds of dress and movements of the people of, in Bijapur and Lambanis, they are said to have different kinds of dress, no? So like that. They have their own culture, their own dress, their own way of doing the things, their own language, all those things. That's how tribal people are. So this, now if you want to more about tribal life in India, you get in YouTube all those details about their life, how did they live, how do they hunt, all the details you will get it. So study very well, prepare your exam for the activities, knowledge, say, understand everything, do well in your life. That's what I have to tell you. Okay, thank you.